Okay, so got a 2003 Volkswagen Beetle here. I was driving and we got stuck in fourth gear. This thing is completely loose and a pecan just fell to the sunroof. Okay, interesting. This thing is completely loose. I was stuck in fourth gear. It was wiggling around, so that was an interesting drive all the way back to the house in fourth gear without stopping. Looked online, looked on YouTube, found a few other people that had this problem. Got these from Diesel Geek. What's happened here is my linkage, which is way down in there, we'll get a better picture of it later, down in there has completely come loose. It's just plastic, it just disintegrates. So you get these from Diesel Geek. I want to say with shipping and everything it was $38. A lot of money for these little parts. But this is the front back linkage, and then there's a left right linkage in here, and they give you a screw because they say a lot of times the screw strips when you come out. There is a video online of how you can get into this linkage from the top. Used to the old way was you had to go in through the bottom. So I would recommend you watch Diesel Geeks. Mine's not going to be as comprehensive. Theirs is going to be better. Mine will be more of a review of, okay, you know we have it available, does it work? So I'll check back in with updates. I got to get this console out. Thinking about taking the seats out, not really sure. It's I only got a couple hours here before dark, so I got off work and thought I was going to try to tackle this. See if I can get it done and get it fixed, and we'll update you on YouTube. So just a little update here. To get the armrest thing out, there's a bolt that you'll need on the end of here after you snap some plastic off. The other thing is this top piece just kind of snaps out. Now the crucial part here is getting this thing out of the gear shifter. So there's this little black piece that sits in here that snaps in underneath this plastic. It snaps in and it holds this in. So when you lift this up, you'll kind of feel it, and you'll see these little D's, which are actually turned this way. Okay. Which really is on the underside of this, holding that in. So once you snap this black plastic out, you'll free this piece, which then you can just lift up. Here, once you pop the top of this off, you'll find a screw here. Screw here. You'll pop these two little pieces off, one on each side. And there's by the way, these are a star. I'm not sure what size. And then you'll find two screw holes in the back. And that should free this whole compartment. So I'll take this off and show you guys what it looks like underneath. Oh yeah, something I failed to mention is you do have to release the both cigarette lighters. They're just little snap ins. You release. There's one, in the middle of the console here, and then there's one at the front of the console here. You do have to release. The reason why I turned this back on in reality is because I found that I couldn't pull this big long piece up. This gets in the way. So what I found is this little tray also removes, and then now that gives you room for your e-brake handle to go down in there. So you should be able to pull this out, no problem. So now you can better see our issue here, which is there's nothing connected to this. just falling completely off. So the method that they show on Diesel Geek is to be able to do it. Oh man, this is so much smaller than it looked on Diesel Geek. With your fingers through this hole, and by drilling a hole in this side. We'll see. I'm gonna attempt it. We'll see if I can do it. So darkness is closing in on me here. Diesel Geek did say something about this. I didn't pay much attention to it at the time, but apparently it is a problem. So this, I think it's a T25. Mine's so old it's rusted and you can't see. That pulls this out. As you can see, I've started to strip it, so I stopped because that's what I don't want to do. They do send you an extra one with it, and I guess because a lot of people were stripping theirs. So the problem is I got to get that out of there. So I'm not going to continue to crank on it with mine. I'm going to go try to buy a new one and see if I can get that out, because barring that, looks like I'll be drilling it out, which is not a fun proposition. I just need to get that little booger out of there. So to be continued. So as you can see, darkness is falling. I tried to get a lot better bit. I had somebody bring me one over, and only proceed to strip it worse. So this is what I'm gonna do now. 13/64 drill bit, and so I'm gonna drill it out. I'll let you know how that works out. So that's how that ended up. Sheared right out. So okay, so since this is off, I'll have to worry about how to get that out of there. Yeah, since this is off, I've already unscrewed these. Whatever, they're hand tight. Pull this guy off. And now I can lift this gear shifter out, supposedly. Yep, straight out. Kind of. And there's the problem. There's what's remaining of my gaskets there. Okay, so apparently this fairly common problem. I did drill the head off, and then once I did, I was able to get some of these lock pliers on there, on the bolt, and then I was able to grab with some good needle nose pliers this, and actually, amazingly enough, it was pretty easy to unscrew this. So that head must have been really soft, just a terrible bolt. So this is going to come out, and luckily the kit that I got has a replacement, so won't need this anymore. So one big headache out of the way. I think the next big headache is, by the way, I came inside, it was just too dark outside. Next big headache is going to be to get those parts in that little gearbox, try to get them on with my fingers. Okay, so I gave it a rest the other night, and because it was getting too dark. So now, you know, I had the shifter out. I went ahead and put the piece on from Diesel Geek. So that's what's going to hold my cable, my front back cable on there. I'm also, because they send you in the kit, the side to side cable, which you can see this little arm is connected to down here. Or maybe you can't. Yeah, that I'm also going to replace since I have this open. But what I'm about to do is drill through the side of this, just like in the Diesel Geek videos that they recommend. They say 1 1/8. I only have a 1 1/4. So I'm gonna, hopefully that's gonna be big enough for my fingers to get through there. So I'll check back in. Okay, so that took a little bit. Shavings everywhere. Have to clean that up. And hopefully that will allow me access to be able to do what I need to do. Just be patient. It's a pretty thick piece of metal there. I'm sure that's more made to cut through wood, but it will work. Just be patient, don't go too fast. There we go. Okay, so took the little clip off, and if you're not aware of how these work, you'll just have to lift up on this little top piece because there's something sticking through the hole. You lift up and then these things slide right off. So I usually get a little screwdriver to get under there and pry it off, and then I stick my fingers down in there. But as you can see, when I step my fingers down there and pull this off, the side to side, even though it was still connected, there's part of it's falling apart. It's disintegrated in there. So I'm glad I decided to do it while we had it out. So I'm gonna replace that now. So I got the little side to side gasket on there. Let me just tell you, it was tight. I expected it to slip on a little easier, but I definitely had to get my fingers down in there and push, and actually I had to come in from the hole on the other side with a screwdriver and push, so that hole paid off even on the side to side piece. I'm not sure I could have done it without that. I mean, that this piece, of which they sent me another one, it slides onto this arm very easily, but when you get in there and you try to get the cable over this diameter, it is very tight. So I finally got that on. I slid the shifter back down in here, and now for the looks like difficult task of getting this cable here on the front back. So for that, I'm gonna swing around to the other side and take a look. Also, there are all these metal shavings. Unfortunately, I don't have like a handheld battery powered Dirt Devil, so what I'm probably gonna do when I get this shifter in here, before I close it all back up, I'm gonna probably take it to the car wash and see if how good I can get in there and vacuum all this stuff up. So I don't want it to be down in there. So anyway, okay, check in with just a little tip for you. I had the shifter in there. What I found was I could not get the cable back to the shifter, so I have these pair of pliers that I reached in and pulled the cable back, and that's going to give me some more room to work with. So now I'm going to stick it back in and try again. I just could not make this piece reach to the cable. It was too far that way, up in there. So you can reach in there with pliers and pull it back. So that's something I haven't seen mentioned on any of the other videos. So it actually wasn't too bad. Actually I had easier time with this than I did with the side to side. So I reached in with my fingers from the back side, guided the wire, and then from this front side I stuck a screwdriver in and pushed it right on. Now I have a feeling the hard part is the clip. I did go to Harbor Freight and buy a clip tool, so hopefully that'll make it a little easier. I'm gonna put that clip on. Okay, so these things $4.99. I don't know how you would have done it any other way. So actually it was a whole set for $4.99 at Harbor Freight, and I probably would not have been able to get that on any other way. I will tell you, I'm a little skeptical, so I am going to put the, even though they say you don't need to, I'm going to try to put the black clip back on top of that, which is that right there that came off. So I did put that black clip on there. Actually, I just, again, these pliers come in handy. I just kind of grabbed it with these and set it on top where it just kind of sat on there, and then I reached in with a little flathead screwdriver and pushed it down and seated it on there. So I don't know how well you can see that, but it is on there. So now, button this thing back up. So in conclusion, I did take it and clean it up a little before I put the console back in. Just have to say, it's shifting now smoother than ever. So, shifting really well. So it definitely worked. So I would recommend it. It's a little bit tedious. Just be patient. You gotta have nimble fingers, but it works.